Hello and welcome back to the Nutrition Diva podcast. I'm your host, Monica Reinagel, and today I have new research on the best oil to cook with. This is a question that I hear from you all the time. And I also have a kitchen cooking hack for you from Lisa Lillian, who you might know as Hungry Girl. Lisa will be sharing a great tip on how you can enjoy a hot, protein-rich breakfast in just 2 minutes with zero cleanup. So stay tuned for that at the end of the show. Today's episode is supported by Omaha Steaks. This Father's Day, give Dad all his favorite foods. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code DIVA in the search bar and get 74% off the Father's Day Steak Fix gift package. It's a $235 value now for only $59.99, and this offer ends soon. Again, just go to omahasteaks.com and type DIVA in the search bar to get the Father's Day Steak Fix package today. Last week, I got an email from Anne who wrote, I saute and roast vegetables often, and I've been trying to figure out what is the best oil to use. I was under the impression that I should not use extra virgin olive oil because it doesn't have a high smoke point. I know you addressed this back in 2011, but I'm wondering if any new studies have changed your recommendation. Well, Anne, in fact, there was a great study done just last year that confirms a lot of what I discussed in my previous article on this topic, but it adds some important new information. And if you've been hesitant to use extra virgin olive oil for high heat cooking, you'll want to listen closely to this episode. First, let's clear up some misunderstandings about smoke point. Perhaps you've seen charts that list the exact temperature at which various types of oil will begin to smoke. But these figures are not nearly as reliable as you might think. There are so many factors that impact smoke point, even more than what plant or animal the oil comes from. For example, if an oil has already been heated, its smoke point will be quite a bit lower the second time you heat it up. Refined and filtered oils will generally have a higher smoke point because they have fewer impurities than unrefined and unfiltered oils. But even this is a generalization with lots of exceptions. The age of an oil may also be a factor, and adding other foods to the oil may also alter the smoke point. Although the exact temperature at which an oil will start to smoke in any given situation may be somewhat hard to predict, it's pretty easy to tell when you've reached it. Your first clue is that bluish smoke that starts to fill the air, and this is something you definitely want to avoid. Now, like Anne, I also frequently saute and roast vegetables in oil, and I use extra virgin olive oil. And the only time I can ever remember having olive oil start to smoke was when I put it in a skillet, turned up the heat, and then got distracted doing something else in the kitchen until I started to smell the smoke. And here's a quick and dirty tip. If your oil has gotten too hot and it has started to smoke, don't use it. Just let it cool down and discard it. However, smoke point is really not the primary consideration when choosing a cooking oil. A greater concern is the formation of HNEs, a toxic compound that's created when highly unsaturated oils are heated up. Unlike smoke, HNEs are odorless, flavorless, and invisible. Your best protection against HNE formation is to avoid high heat cooking with oils that are high in polyunsaturated fats. And this would include things like grapeseed, sunflower, safflower, and rice bran oil. Oils that are high in monounsaturated fats, such as avocado and olive oil, or saturated fats, such as palm and coconut oil, will produce far less HNE. Now, these were all issues that I discussed in my previous article, but as I said last year, a group of Australian researchers did a very comprehensive analysis of 10 common cooking oils to see which ones were the most stable at high heat. And they included things like olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, grapeseed, sunflower seed, coconut oil. And I'll have the surprising results of their analysis right after these words from our sponsors. Support for this podcast comes from Pete and Jerry's Organic Eggs. Pete and Jerry's have done one thing for generations: produce eggs that you can be proud to serve to your family. Their small, single-family-owned farms around the country take pride in raising hens simply and providing healthy, organic, free-range eggs. You can learn more about their farms and the families that work there by visiting peteandjerrys.com. I've been buying Pete and Jerry's eggs for longer than I've been making this podcast. It makes me happy to know I'm supporting family-owned farms that treat their hens right. Pete and Jerry's believes in small-scale, humane, organic farming because it's the right way to farm, and they want you to believe in what you buy. So the next time you're in the egg aisle, find Pete and Jerry's organic eggs. And you can check out peteandjerrys.com for recipes and more. That's Pete and Jerry's, GERRYS.com. You probably don't use a phone that was developed in the 1940s. But that's when the HEPA filter, long considered a benchmark in air purifying, was developed. Well, now Molecule has introduced a breakthrough science that goes above and beyond that standard and destroys air pollutants at a molecular level. Molecule captures and completely destroys the full spectrum of indoor air pollutants, including those 1,000 times smaller than what a HEPA filter can catch. In one study of 49 allergy sufferers, which was presented at the American College of Asthma, Allergy, and Immunology, Molecule's technology provided statistically significant symptom reduction within a week of use. One customer even said she was able to breathe through her nose for the first time in 15 years. For $75 off your first order, visit molekule.com and enter the code DIVA at checkout. Molecule, the air you were meant to breathe, is finally here. So in addition to looking at the smoke point and also the formation of harmful byproducts, the Australian researchers also studied the tendency of oils to form free radicals when they were heated. They looked at their antioxidant capacity. They tested the effects of heating to various temperatures and holding them at high temperatures for various lengths of time. Now, I'm going to spare you all the boring details, but I will include a link to the study in the show notes in case you want to geek out on lipid peroxidation, oxidative stability, and UV coefficients. But here's the upshot. Although it doesn't have the highest smoke point, extra virgin olive oil turns out to be one of the best choices for high heat cooking based on its superior ability to resist oxidation, as well as the very low formation of harmful compounds. That's right. Extra virgin olive oil was more stable than light or refined olive oil, perhaps because it's higher in antioxidants. And those same antioxidant compounds, by the way, are a big factor in the characteristic aroma and flavor of really high quality olive oil. The other standout in this comparison was coconut oil. Coconut oil does have a much higher smoke point than extra virgin olive oil, and it performed similarly in terms of the formation of harmful compounds. However, it was not quite as resistant to oxidation. Coconut oil is, of course, also much higher in saturated fat and, correspondingly, lower in monounsaturated fat. Coconut oil remains a good choice for high heat cooking, but if you have been anxious about cooking with extra virgin olive oil, worry no more. This healthy and delicious oil is also healthy when it's heated. Now, you may still want to save that really expensive, unfiltered extra virgin olive oil for off-heat uses. It would be perfectly safe to cook with it, but you're not going to get quite as much of that subtle flavor and aroma that you're paying a premium for. I suggest keeping a more economical extra virgin olive oil on hand to cook with and drizzle the fancy stuff on at the end. And now here is Lisa Lillian, the hungry girl, with the lowdown on her egg mug technique. Now, as you'll hear, Lisa prefers to use egg whites and low-fat cheese in her egg mug creations, but this technique works equally well with whole eggs and regular cheese, which would also give your breakfast a bit more staying power. And as Lisa says, this is also an easy way to add some more vegetables to your day. So take it away, Lisa.
Hey, Nutrition Diva listeners, I have such a great breakfast hack for you. I used to think I didn't have time for a hot breakfast because I thought, well, you know what, who wants to get that skillet out and take all that time to make eggs? But you know what? You can make eggs in a mug. I've been making egg mug recipes for probably around 12 or 13 years now. Here's what you do. Just get a large mug, the bigger the better, because eggs puff up when you cook them. Then you want to spray your mug with a little nonstick spray, and then throw in about 3/4 of a cup of egg whites or egg substitute and maybe some of your favorite veggies, and just put it in the microwave. And you want to set your microwave for a couple of minutes. And after about a minute, check on your eggs, stir them, and then put them back until it's fully cooked. You could also top it with a little low-fat cheese, and they are yummy. And it's really easy to clean up, and it only takes a few minutes, and you have a satisfying, protein-packed hot breakfast. Hope you like it. For more great egg ideas, check out the Simply Eggs chapter in my new book, Hungry Girl Simply 6.
Hey, thanks, Lisa, for stopping by. Check out Lisa's new book, Simply Six, and of course, her podcast, Chew the Right Thing. If you'd like to read a transcript of today's show or browse through the entire Nutrition Diva archive, you'll find that at quickanddirtytips.com. And if you have a comment or a nutrition question for me, you'll find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, or you can leave me a message on the Nutrition Diva listener line. It's 443-961-6206. I'd love to hear from you. Our show is researched and written by me, Monica Reinagel, with invaluable editorial support from Karen Hertzberg and produced by Nathan Sems. Our amazing Quick and Dirty Tips team at Macmillan Publishing includes Michelle Margulis, Emily Miller, Morgan Ratner, and our director, Kathy Doyle. Thanks to everyone who makes the show possible, including our sponsors, but most of all, to you. Thanks for listening.